What's up, Adam? What's up, Josh? Let me fix this real quick. Oh, man. There, that's better. What it is, what it ain't, what it'll never be. All right, Josh. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. Hey, and share that clip for you, boy. We missed the porch jams. Man, my damn mama took over the front porch, and I just haven't had the heart to tell her this is like my YouTube set. You know what I'm saying? If mama wants the porch, fuck she. And what can you do? You know what I'm saying? Can't wait for the new music. All right, Josh, I appreciate it, bro. Hey, I really don't feel like what Don Tripp say. I ain't, what he say? He said, I ain't in the rap conversations. They don't bother me the least. I don't feel like, I'm in the circle anymore. But this song is special because I had somebody, a friend of ours, send me a old video of my brother bragging on me in 2009, 2010. My brother, hold on, wait, let me think about this. Was it 09? Okay, all right. So it was anywhere from 1986 to 2025. My brother, well, no, he died in 13. So it was anywhere from fucking the 90s to 2013. Anyway, so our friend of ours sent us this clip of my brother. What it was is, I remember the day I was there. My mama and her ex old man, R.I.P. Billy. They lived in this trailer park over here, and in front of them was my homeboy. He lived in a trailer there, not real long, but for a little while he lived in front of them. So I would go over there. We'd all go over there, and my brother JB was like, one time he was like, man, y'all need to hear this. Y'all need to hear Ryan rap and sing on the guitar. And they was like, rap and sing on it. He was like, yeah, bro can do it. He can do it on the guitar. This was before country rap really was a thing. I know country rap existed. I know you can go back to the 90s with Nappy Roots. Like, country rap existed, okay? Colt Ford. But it really wasn't like a thing everybody talked about. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, I did something on the guitar, and social media. I'm remembering now. Social media really wasn't big then either. Like, nobody. Matter of fact, this was before smartphones. Well, this was before everybody had smartphones. They still, it was like fucking, 20 grand for a smartphone. But anyway, so when I went in and played the guitar, this like blew these people's mind. I knew all of them, but it's still. I know we a lot of them were like street acquaintances. You know what I'm saying? They had heard that I could do music. They heard I played music, and then but I never played music for them. So my brother JB was like, "Man, go get your guitar and blow their minds." So I was able, back then when you played the guitar for people, it was much more appreciated. Now you can get on social media and in 5 seconds find the baddest motherfucker on the guitar in the world. But back then it wasn't such. And so they were really blown away. Anyway, this is what I'm saying. When that was over, he had his phone on him from recording me while I was playing. He wanted to record me while I was playing. And he forgot to shut the recorder off on his phone. So you could see his feet, and you could see my feet. You could see other people's feet. My homeboy Adam, what a coincidence. My homeboy Adam, his little boy, you can see all of his little boy because his little boy was little. And so he forgot to turn his phone off. And so it was recording what he was saying. And a couple months ago, acquaintance of ours, shout out Jacob, He sent me I don't know how he got it. He sent me the video on Facebook, and he said, I thought you'd like to hear this. And it's him, it's my brother JB bragging on me before country rap ever existed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel like if I hadn't got married and had kids, when Ryan Upchurch was coming up, when Ryan Upchurch started to get a name, when country rap started to get a name, when the Redneck Rave started to get a name and all this stuff, I was a husband. I had totally given up music completely and focused on raising, the kids and being a husband. And when that didn't work out, I started going back to my roots and making music that accidentally turned into rap. But anyway, but I still rap though. Before I got married, when we used to run the streets, and I had a studio, and so I wrote a song one time called Recession Proof. So this is how far back I was rapping during the recession. So that's how that 06, 05. And then, in school, when 8 Mile came out, it was cool to freestyle. I found out I always had wrote music since 14 years old, but then I found out I could rap and I could freestyle. But anyway, my brother forgot to turn the phone off, and it was recording what he was saying. And so one of our close friends sent me the video, and, it really does something to you to hear their voice after years of them being dead. This was just sent to me from God and dropped on my lap. So I'm sitting in front of the laptop, in front of the interface and the little studio and whatever, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I feel like writing. I feel like doing at least one more song. I feel like writing. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, wouldn't it be really dope to clip my brother and what he was saying and put it in this song? And so that's what I did. So now this new song that's coming out, you can hear my brother talking, bragging on me, talking about he's a fucking beast. He calls himself Bloodhound. See, this was 09, so I was called Bloodhound in 09. I was called Bloodhound before that. You know what I'm saying? People was like, where did you come? I think it was Vic XL that asked me in an interview one time. He said, so where'd you come up with the name Bloodhound? It's like, I don't know. It's always been there, really and truly. It's always been there. No way this dude is just yapping like this. Buddy, think about, I fucking love. Oh, please be a smart ass. Buddy, think about what you want to say. Gather your thoughts. And I think you fucking misspelled that word. You're killing the vibe by just yapping like that. And then XF was timed out by Adam H for 86,000 seconds. God damn, man. You got sentenced to 86,000 seconds. Bam. Yeah, let it ride, Adam. It's whatever, bro. They don't know. They ain't been here from the beginning. You got to be here from the beginning to understand, where we at now. And where we at now is, we finna drop a song September 30th. And I'm gonna fucking make myself shoot a video. Is this good enough for you, BW? Okay, I spelled it right. You just don't know the word. Succussant? No, you hit the nail on the head, homie. I don't know that word. Don't want to know that word. Really could give a fuck less what you got to say and think, because I never seen you in my live before and you don't fucking know shit about Bloodhound Nation. I ain't gonna Google shit. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Catch me off the internet. How about that? Anyway, I'm just joking. BW, I'm joking. I'm not joking. But anyway, you made me lose my train of thought, motherfucker. I gotta be careful in these trying times that we're in. So, I realized, look, listen. What are you, wig or rap or die? Oh, you're racist. Okay. Don't nobody kick him out. Let him ride. Racist fuck. I'm a wigger, huh? You don't think I know that? Waiting on these loud ass jets to get them. Hey, I can really tell you. Let me cook, chat. Yeah, let him cook, chat. Let him cook, because if he keeps on cooking, I'm gonna cut his fucking stove off. Obviously, you've never heard any of my music, so really and truly, it's like, why are you in here? But anyway, um, you made me lose my train of thought. Oh yeah, September 30th. So if you listen to the song September 30th when it drops, won't ya? You'll really realize that I'm probably not gonna be friends with people like BW. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I guess I betrayed my race. What the fuck ever. But anyway, I'm going to force myself to get up and shoot a video, but it can't just be any video. It's gotta be it's gotta be done right. Like it's gotta be done right, and it will be done right, because I'm gonna get the same people that did Welcome to My Addiction, John Wayne. We gonna shoot the video for Wonya. I invented a whole new word. It's called Wonya. People like BW probably think, oh, you're talking black, you know, but I don't care. I invented a word called Wonya. I done warned you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the name of the song, Wonya. And I know people's gonna look at it and be like, what the fuck is it? But I don't really care anymore. But I need to come back. I need to get more involved. Let's see what this person said. This is gonna be fun. It's the same BW. BW, what the fuck does BW saying? Why do blacks commit 60% of the crime but are only 13% of the population? Brother, listen. Listen to me. It was a black lady on my jury that refused to find me guilty, which made the jury deadlocked and gave me my freedom. So all those questions you're asking, why does black people commit most of the crime? I've already had them conversations. My followers know where I stand, and really don't care to talk about this type of shit. Okay, I hope that helps you. You know what I'm saying? My dad wasn't in my life. My real dad. I had a stepdad who was in my life, but he had a drug addiction and he was a severely violent alcoholic. But when he wasn't drinking and smoking crack, he was a very, very good father. But he wasn't always there. So when I went to military school at 17 years old, you're constantly looking for father figures when your father's not there. And so I had two cadres, Sergeant Miller and Sergeant Ricky Young, and every day of my life, I swear, every day of my life, I go through something or think of something with these men have instilled in me. They gave me the strength I need to endure some things. One of them made sure that I was going to be a Ranger, and he didn't cut me no slack. You know what I'm saying? The whole, 100 push-ups a day kind of broke me in. But both of them men were black, and I look at them as father figures. I think about them every day. I got a phone call when they died, when they passed away. They both served in Vietnam and retired from the military, came back to the military in retirement and volunteered for the Youth Challenge program, and that's where they ran into me. I never will forget what Sergeant Miller told me the first day I was there, the first second I laid eyes on him. He looked at me, he said, oh no, I know you're going to be a problem. He said, all that fuzz on your face, he said, here, I'm going to need you to go to the latrine, and I'm going to need you to get it all off now, like right now. And just the fact that he approached me and talked to me like a father, you know what I'm saying? He talked to me like a father. It really filled a gap, a void that was missing in my life right there, because it was either the boys' home in Tennessee or military school. And if it didn't work out in military school, the judge was going to sentence me to I ain't getting into all that, man, but I hate talking about, you know what? Y'all probably not believe this. BW, listen, BW, you're probably not going to believe this, but I hate talking about myself. Make America Britain again. What? What do you got against free speech? Why you want to make America Britain? Britain ain't got free speech. Britain's being taken over by foreign Muslims, illegal immigrants. Hey, make America Britain again. Britain's more liberal than America. Make America Britain again. Are you serious? You need to make Britain America. I think Trump's over there right now, and that's what they're talking about now. 34 people last week in the United Kingdom was arrested for making mean tweets. If I was in Britain, or if you make America Britain, I would have been arrested for these lives and what I say online and stuff. Now, I've calmed down a whole lot throughout the years and whatever. But let me see. I love these block messages. Let's see. Who's the racist now? Because I recognize Britain don't have free speech, that makes me a racist. I don't really think you know the definition of a racist, brother. But who gives a fuck? Muslim invasion. They are the people that leave the countries that were formed by the Ottoman Empire are leaving them and going to Britain, and they happen to practice the religion of Islam. That is a fact. That's a fact. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, but that has nothing to do with... So it's like, you can't say that Britain don't have free speech and they're being taken over by Muslims, but you can call me a wigger, and that's different than your racism versus what you considered what I said was racist. Everybody, look, here's what I've learned, because I done had so many social media accounts, been kicked off of TikTok, been previewed on the Alex Jones show, marched for the state, organized a rally for the state flag of Mississippi, to remain the state flag of Mississippi. Hell, I got the fucking Confederate Mississippi state flag hanging in my room right now. Some people would call that racist. But everybody, from all that, what I learned from sitting down with senators and politicians and going on WLX and WXXV before music, okay? What I learned was, and being kicked off of social media, being kicked off of Facebook and TikTok and Instagram so many times, I don't even care to tell y'all. What I have learned is everybody has a difference of opinion about politics. And I have some really great people that support me, that love my music, that can relate to my life experiences. And just because we don't line up eye to eye on political stuff doesn't mean that my music can't reach out and touch them either. You know, I helped a lot of people get off Suboxone earlier this year. I didn't give a fuck what they were, how they voted. That's between them, their government, and God. You know, I got people that follow me that don't believe in God. But we talk about God. We talk about politics. But we don't call people wiggers. And we don't fucking blow the chat up with British flags like that. I'm very disappointed in Britain right now. For real. Like, what the fuck is... The UK is literally forgetting who they are and what made them great. And you want America to become that. Look what just happened. I don't even want to talk about this. But don't say I didn't warn you. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to say it. Charlie Kirk was murdered for absolutely nothing. Charlie Kirk was murdered for absolutely nothing. Has nothing to do with race, has nothing to do really with politics. It has something to do with free speech. That's what I care about. That was my mission beginning this thing, was freedom of speech. Because I seen social media come along with this word called hate speech. And then there was words they was going to try to draft it into law. There is no such thing as hate speech in the United States of America. Either speech is free or it's not. Speech is a tool that can be used however you see fit. Music is a tool, and language can be used however you see fit. A gun is a tool that can be used however you see fit. AI is a tool that can be used however you see fit. These people going around, this is what I said. I made a post on Facebook. I said, let's do this about Charlie Kirk. I said, let's put a $100,000 reward out for the gun that shot Charlie Kirk. And once we capture the gun, once we arrest the gun that shot Charlie Kirk, it's going to be a lot safer out on Utah campus. See how dumb that sounds? The FBI actually found the gun before they arrested the guy. But liberals think, look, we should have just got the gun because it's the gun's fault. It's the gun's fault. If it's the gun's fault, then Bloodhound's going to make up a diet program like Jenny Craig, and I'm going to take out a bunch of commercials just like Jenny Craig, and I'm going to say, throw all the spoons away in your house. If you want to lose weight, throw all the spoons away, throw all the forks away, throw all the butter knives and knives. Matter of fact, fuck it. Throw all the pots and pans. Throw all that away. It's the spoons that's making you fat. It's the forks that's making you fat. You see how dumb that sounds? Sounds pretty stupid. And then, on top of that, while Charlie Kirk was being shot, they had a school shooting where children were actually murdered and killed. And I was sent a video of the coward, the young coward that did it, was a Satanist. He had a what you call those when you do target practice, targets. It's called a target. Shout out Hard Target. He had a target in his room in the image of a man, and on the target's face was the face of Jesus. This is what he practiced with. You know what I'm saying? I guess if you could shoot Jesus in the head, your scope is locked in. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sitting there watching the guy that killed all these kids. I'm sitting there watching the video he made before he did it. And he's got a bedroom, and his whole bed is full of clips for 308, 5.56, 30-06. He had the pistol grip shotgun, all black. He had an AK. No, he had an AR. I'm sorry. He had an AR. He had a couple pistols. I think the one he picked up was a 45. And then he's showing the ammo for it. Switchblade knives. And on these guns, he's got, satanic, liberal, leftist bullshit wrote. And he was a very big supporter of the transgender community. And so, BW, I hope you're listening. And I'm thinking to myself, here's a dude that hates conservatives. Obviously, he's not a Republican. Hates God, hates Jesus. I know this because of his notebook they found in school. He drew himself looking into the mirror, and instead of his reflection looking back at him, it was a demon looking back at him, had horns and all the shit. And he spoke fluent Russian. And he wrote on the notebook in Russian, kill the children, help me, die bitch, fuck all y'all, day of reckoning, judgment day, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like, why? I don't know, BW, maybe y'all can help me with this. Why don't these fucking liberals, these Democrats, this video, I'm pretty sure some of y'all might have seen it. They can see the video. It's not hard to find. Why don't some of these liberals and Democrats come out and condemn this man right here that did the school shooting and he had a 6-shooter. I think it was a Ruger 6-shooter, a side pistol, that he specifically said during the video, he specifically said this. He said, I'm going to use this gun, the 6-shooter. And he whipped it out and showed that it was full of bullets. He said, I'm going to use this gun to take my life. And then he took the gun and put it in his mouth and said, boom, like he took his own life. Which eventually, after the school shooting, he did. He took his own life. Cowardly. He even had a board. And if you understand fire alarm and fire controls in the building, he had a board, a long 2x4 board with a smoke bomb taped to the end of it. So he had smoke bombs. And so it's like, where's the outrage for this one? You know what I'm saying? You can't say that he was not radicalized by leftist ideology. All you have to do is read all the clips of bullets in his. He wrote on the guns. He wrote on the man that shot Charlie Kirk. Wrote on the shell case. It's so fucking dumb that they play with our intelligence, and they clearly, our eyes, our ears, our brain, our soul tells us, well, this person was radical and lined up with the Antifa liberal bitches. And clearly, I mean, your own God-given common sense will tell, not, well, common sense ain't so common anymore, but it would tell you this. And then they come on the news and they say, well, we don't know if he was an leftist extremist or not. We can't jump to conclusions. But, bitch, I was in a murder trial. I was in a murder investigation. I was involved. The motherfuckers jump to conclusions all the time. The news jumps to conclusions. The homicide unit jumps to conclusions. The police department jump to conclusions. Other inmates jump to conclusions. Especially when you make the news for taking somebody's life, everybody jumps to conclusions. So it's like Andrew Tate was on Piers Morgan's show night before last, whatever. And they talking about that girl that got stabbed on the bus in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been to Charlotte, North Carolina. Really nice place. I would go again. I've been to Chicago. Fuck. I do shows in Jackson, Mississippi. Charlotte, North Carolina is nothing like Chicago. Charlotte, North Carolina ain't nothing like Jackson, Mississippi. Like, you can't even walk down the street at certain times of night in Jackson, South Jackson, East Jackson. You will get killed. Straight up. Just straight up. It's like a third world country. But Charlotte, North Carolina, I played basketball in Charlotte, North Carolina. I went to these bad neighborhoods to go play basketball in Charlotte, North Carolina. I couldn't believe this happened in Charlotte, North Carolina. But this girl from Ukraine escaped a war-ridden country to come to the United States for safety. She got on the bus, and this here, BW, I hope you hear this. Okay, maybe this will help you, BW. This racist fuck who happened to be black stabbed her to death for being white. And Piers Morgan says, hold on, Andrew. We can't jump to conclusions. We can't jump to conclusions. Andrew Tate's like, what? What do you mean we can't jump? The dude even said, I just killed this white bitch. That's what he said. And then let me quote. I quote, I killed this white bitch. End quote. That's what he said. And Andrew Tate's like, don't you think, maybe just there's a chance that this could have been racially motivated, Pierce? And Pierce was like, yeah, you're right. He did say, I just killed this white. And so, but we can't jump to conclusions. We can't jump to conclusions. You know what I'm saying? We gotta wait. Gotta wait for an investigation. The motherfucking shit with Charlie Kirk and this girl all happened on camera. And the man that shot the school up, I seen all his clips, his AR, his shotgun, his pistols, all the bullets, all his propaganda that he wrote. I seen it with my own eyes. It's not like we live in a different time. If we live back in the Wild Wild West, okay, where two dudes got into it in a saloon, and one of them shot each other. And then they wrote on the paper, on the you know, where they stand out on the road and, you know, get your paper here, 5 cents for your newspaper, get something, you know, New York Times, whatever. And then you read on the paper, a man was shot in a saloon at the OK Corral. Fuck, I don't know. Well, damn, I wonder what happened. They didn't have videos back then. They didn't have recording back then. They didn't have fucking... All they had was Sherlock Holmes. They didn't have fingerprint. They didn't have DNA technology. They didn't have ballistic science and all that stuff. They didn't have all that back then. You know what I'm saying? Shit's done evolved from when my case happened to now. It's done evolved because the AI got involved now. So back then in the cowboy days when a murder happened, no, you couldn't jump to conclusions. You needed to interview Miss Sally, and you needed to interview the bartender. You need to interview the Pony Express, and you need to interview fucking... Wild Bill Hickok, need to interview him too. And then, based upon that, they held a trial, and then they went to trial. They had trials back then, too, and lawyers and judges. Anyway, so these people would actually have to carry out an investigation based upon eyewitness testimony. And then, after it was all said and done, then we could come to a conclusion, especially if you're the jury. And if you were found guilty, in a lot of situations, you hung that day. You hung that day. Side note, in this country, here's why I don't want to make America Britain. In this country, I think we need, I swear to God, I feel a calling to do this. This is going to be my next big whatever. In this country, I feel if you touch a child, not only should that be a death penalty, but it should happen that day. You don't go sit on death row. I've served time with people on death row. You don't go sit on death row for fucking 20 years and have a stay of execution 16 times because you're trying to get an appeal because you found a loophole and you spend all your time in the law library. Whatever. If you touch a child, you should be killed that day after found guilty. Now, they'll probably say, well, they're going to put an age limit with it, and they're probably going to say, well, it has to be full-blown rape. That's a start. That's a start. I feel like pedophilia should be a death sentence. I'm sorry. I do. Now, people say don't jump to conclusions. I'm going to say this and I'll shut up. We all seen Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck, right? Got shot in the neck. How dumb do you have to be to not know that this was not politically motivated? It is by chance or the grace of God that dude didn't say, fuck it, it's on now, and just start taking people out one at a time. Why? It's a good damn thing that he didn't keep shooting. I feel like the man was aiming for his chest because at that distance of a shot, especially when you're elevated and you're looking down, I feel like he had Charlie Kirk in his scope the very second that he walked out there on that grassy knoll, and he followed him with his scope, and he just watched him in his scope until he could control his breathing and get his heartbeat down to a certain beats per minute. And then when the light was right, everything was right, I really feel like he pulled the trigger aiming for his chest. But when he pulled the trigger to aim for his chest, because of the kick of a 30-06, aiming down especially, because of the kick in the gun, the bullet went up and got him in the neck. I didn't see an exit wound either. Maybe y'all seen an exit wound. I didn't see an exit wound. I don't know how we got on this subject, but I hate to say this, there's something coming to the United States of America. Today, at Delta State University, and this is just as bad, so let's call this out too, guys. What happened to Charlie Kirk is bullshit, and they should kill who did it. When that boy jumped off that building, I told Victoria, I said, man, fuck, why didn't he break his neck? I wish when he jumped off the building after shooting Charlie Kirk, he'd landed wrong and broke his neck and been paralyzed and was screaming trying to scream for help, and had to suffer spending the rest of his life in prison paralyzed. But we got to thank God for unanswered prayers. Now, with that being said, today or yesterday, I got into it with a complete stranger this afternoon behind the building at Rouse's over this one right here. But I'm going to be fair. Yesterday, they found a college student at Delta State University with both of it, a black college. That's all that's at Delta State University. That's all that's in the Delta in Mississippi. But they're good people. And this kid didn't deserve this. They found him with both his arms broke, both his legs broke, hanging from a tree. Somebody had took him and hung him from a tree, a black student. And because he's black and he's hanging from a tree, they automatically assume it's a race thing. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to conclusions, okay? Because I was born and raised in Mississippi and served time in the Delta for a year. There's no white people up there. There's hardly any white people from Yazoo City, well, we might as well say from Natchez, Mississippi, all the way up to Sunflower County, the real Delta, where Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil. That's all descendants of slaves. That's all black-owned businesses, black lawyers, black doctors, black politicians. It's all black people. It's a whole black community. You know what I'm saying? White people come through there driving 18-wheelers, just passing through. So to say that white people come to Delta State University and did this is beyond me. But what this could have been, and here's just what this could have been, just because there's hardly any white people up there, doesn't mean there's no black conservatives that were pissed off to see Charlie Kirk get shot. And this is in retaliation, because Delta State University is, you might as well change the name to Democrat State University. They are all fucking Democrats. And so it's like, I hope to God that this type of violence is not coming to something happened on a college campus again. I hope to God this ain't coming. What's coming? That's what's coming to the United States. I don't want to jump to conclusions about that, because here's the deal about war. Okay, let me tell y'all about war. Everybody talks about a civil war popping off. Okay, if you cannot get, I don't care how many guns you own. I don't care how good of a shot you are. If you cannot get up right now and run a mile without stopping, I'm not saying you got to run fast. I'm just saying if you cannot get up right now and run a mile and not stop, complete the whole mile without stopping, you were not ready for combat. If you cannot go in your home without electricity for a year, down here in hurricane country, we're used to it. We know what to do. You know what I mean? Some of y'all got backup generators. That ain't going to help y'all. When Katrina hit this house right here, we had some rich family members from Mendenhall come down here and bring us 3 50-gallon drums of diesel for the big 300 kW generator that they pulled on the side of the house. The very next day, all the diesel was stolen. And they left the drums empty. That's what's going to happen in a civil war. You say, well, we're going to have a garden and we're going to live off the garden because we're in a civil war. There's no electricity. The grocery stores are closed and have been raided. And we can't even drive down the road because of all the dead bodies that they can't even get because the authorities will be killed. We're just going to live off a garden that we grow. Do you know how hard it is to keep people out of your garden when you're sleeping? They're hungry too. Look, this neighborhood that these motherfuckers went and built behind our house, every one of these people in this neighborhood back here probably has 300 homes in it. None of them can grow a garden. None of these people can grow a garden. So if you live in a neighborhood and civil war breaks off, you're fucked. If you live in New York City or any big city and you live in an apartment building and civil war kicks off, you're fucked. There's no grocery stores. If you're watching me on the internet right now, you won't be able to use the internet. Smartphones will be obsolete. If you drive everywhere depending on your GPS and civil war kicks off, you're fucked. Everybody wants this big civil war to happen, but they don't understand what war brings. If you don't even know how to use a firearm, if all this shit applies to you, you can't run a mile, you couldn't even grow a garden if you had to. None of this shit. If you can't accomplish none of this, you are fucked. Especially if you run into somebody like me and my children, because I'll put guns in my children's hand to defend this country. It'd be like shooting fish in a barrel. We got people that actually live on hundreds of acres of land. They have cattle. They have food already prepared. They have food already prepared. They have a lot of stuff. Gun cases, 50,000 rounds of ammunition, food put up that'll last at least 6 months. If you ain't there, if you don't have that type, if you're not there, but we do have people that are like that. Those are the type of people that will survive. But those are also the type of people that become targets in those situations. Because other people are going to get word, oh, so-and-so has this, so-and-so has this. And so, you know, even during the Civil War, when there was hardly, nobody depended on electricity. Nobody depended on the government. There was no internet. Nobody depended. Everybody had a gun. A gun was just a way of life. Even during the Civil War, there were still people who died from starvation because the man of the home had to leave and go fight in a war, and he was killed. Now it's up to the mother to do everything, and it's just not possible. It's just not possible. People died. People died they didn't even see one day in the battlefield. They died. In the North and in the South. So when people say, we got to retaliate, there's a civil war that's coming, that's fine. Hey, if that's how you feel, be very careful, because you have freedom of expression, but you don't have freedom of threat. So if that's the cards you want to deal, just be ready. That's the cards, because that's what comes with those cards. If you can't run a mile, if you can't fucking do 5 damn push-ups, if you can't do 20 push-ups, you're not ready for war. And anybody who's been in combat knows this. It's fucking work. You will work more than you pull that trigger. It's boring. You will drive yourself insane before you pull a trigger and take another's life. You know what I'm saying? I see that this becoming a very big issue in the next election for Congress and Senate. I see this becoming an issue with the presidential election. I really hope, and I know this probably is going to blow y'all's mind, but I really hope that we all can just put political differences aside right now and let the temperature calm down. Now, I understand the mainstream media is not going to do this. I understand that liberals are not going to do this. But let them waller in their own feces. Because all that man did when he killed Charlie was make his message louder. That's all he did. I read a comment on social media the other day that said something, let me see. He said, the shooter tried to kill Charlie's message and shed light on the liberal message. But all he did was kill the liberal message and shine light on Charlie's message. So it literally had the reverse effect. Who's to say that the civil rights movement wouldn't have been as big as it was if Dr. Martin Luther King wasn't martyred? Who's to say that Tupac's music wouldn't have been as big and can continue to just carry on throughout the decades if he wasn't killed? Who's to say if Notorious B.I.G.'s music wouldn't have been as big as it is, not to take away from any of their talent, but who's to say it wouldn't be big if they wasn't killed? Who's to say that any old country boy like me in South Mississippi would have ever heard of the name Nipsey Hussle if he hadn't have been killed? Who's to say? What Biggie say? You're nobody till somebody kill. Look, they're gonna get me for a copyright strike. September 30th, got a song coming out called "Want Ya," so be on the lookout. I'm gonna shoot a music video, and I'm just really worried about what's gonna happen to this country. What's up, Melody? What's up, Misty? Well, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all want to know the first person who told me about Charlie before I seen it on anything? Misty. Misty emailed me. At first, I didn't know what she was talking about. Then I seen everything. Fucking airplanes, man. Look, I got to get back to work, man. Y'all already know. Did the dude BW leave? R.I.P. Charlie. That's right. Boss lady. That part. Yes, sir. He made a martyr. Yeah, that's right. I liked and subbed. Also, thank you for your service. No, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on, Melody. Let me make this very loud and clear. I never served in the military. This is my grandpa's dog tag, who's no longer with us. I never served in the military. I was sent to military school to eventually go on in the military. That's the whole point of the program, is to take juvenile delinquents out of the court system, put them in military school, and send them off to the military. A big portion of the young men in my platoon, I was in Delta platoon, a big portion of those young men lost their life. And I never served in the military because I failed a drug test for cocaine twice. All I wanted to do was run the streets and party. All I wanted to do was just eventually gangbang. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck. I did not. And so it eventually caught up with me. And everybody knows what happened to me. But yeah, you're right. They sent all type of recruiters to come get me. The Air Force. I didn't score high enough on the ASVAB. When I was in military school, we didn't have a football team. They don't got football teams in military school. But what they do have is what the military has, special forces. And we had the Rangers. So in order to, you know, to be like the high school quarterback of military school, you had to make the Rangers and become platoon sergeant of the Rangers. And so if you make the Rangers, immediately they start sending all these recruiters to you. Except for one person who was killed, every man, I don't know about the girls, there was only 2 girls in the whole Ranger squadron, but every young man in the Ranger squadron went into the military. A lot of people I was in Delta platoon, a lot of people in my platoon were killed. And so they sent all these recruiters to me, and I didn't give a fuck. I should have. I really should have. I should have took it more seriously. But I had a friend of mine who was in Echo platoon, which was right next, A, B, C, D, E, yep, right next to my barracks. And he came up to me one day, and he said 2 things to me. He said, Woodcock, he said, have you ever snorted cocaine? Have you ever rode on X? And I was like, nah, I ain't. I mean, I grew up in Methville, so, but as far as like cocaine, nah, I ain't never done that. I ain't never rode on X. See, he was from a city. Hattiesburg is a city. That's where the college is, University of Southern Mississippi. Where we were at, Camp Shelby, is just south of Hattiesburg. And so he says to me, he says, well, I tell you what, on the next leave, we got I don't know, 2 or 3 leaves. But a hurricane come through, the one before Katrina come through, they gave us another leave to go home. But anyway, he came to me, he said, on the next leave we get, call your people and tell them that you coming with me and that you're not going to go down there and see them, you coming with me. And I said, okay, bet. You know what I'm saying? Let's go do some cocaine. And so that's what we did. On the next leave, my people, let me go with him. He had one of his homeboys come and pick us up in a Mazda R6. This was 2004. So this was a 2004 Mazda R6. So it was a brand new sports car. Come picked us up. This dude had money. His parents had money. They started one of the biggest chain fast food restaurants in Mississippi called Ward's. If you ever ate at Ward's, I snorted cocaine with their children. No, he was a grown man. But anyway, so he come and picked us up. Him and his homeboy Head. He had a homeboy, black dude by the name of Head. They come and picked us up, and he said, when we got out of Camp Shelby and got on Highway 49 south of Hattiesburg, heading back towards Hattiesburg, Hardy Street, he said, man, I got a surprise for y'all when we get back to the house, whatever. And so you ain't got to be a genius to put 2 and 2 together. All right. I love y'all. I got to go to work. September 30th. Don't say I didn't warn you.